Morning everyone, hope you're all well. I hadn't planned on doing another video so soon after the one I put out yesterday regarding Gabapentin etc, and how I'm doing 10 days in being Gabapentin free. But this morning when I woke up, I've had a question and a comment from a couple of subscribers, and I just want to clarify a couple of things and clear up a couple of comments and questions that I've been asked. Now, I had a question from MJ. Your name's Mona, I believe. You've emailed me privately as well before. And your question to me was, "Hi Aid, were you taking the Gabapentin during those days when you could not hear your tinnitus?" Okay, this is how I'm going to answer this, because I understand why you've asked this question, and it's a good question. Before I had been prescribed Gabapentin, before I touched the stuff, I had already been experiencing and had experienced days where I was not noticing the tinnitus at all. It was like it wasn't there throughout the whole day. While I was at work during the week, I would usually have, more days than not where I wasn't noticing the tinnitus at all. It was like it wasn't there. It was there, because if I thought about it and listened for it, I could hear it. But if I didn't do that, it was like it wasn't there. So my mind had already got to a place, I'd already got my mind to a place using a method such as Tai Chi, craniotherapy, meditation, where my mind had put the tinnitus way in the background where I wasn't noticing it. So it was lovely. And then I had started to experience moments and minutes and then hours of what I call true peace, true silence, where the tinnitus was so far removed from my conscious thought it was not present. When I was going to bed, I would still hear it. But during the day I wasn't noticing it, and this is before being on any medication at all. So more often than not I wasn't noticing it, and that was just through using natural methods, so I'd already got there. Then I had a very bad spike due to hearing some bad news, and it was a bad spike. It went up to a level 8, 9. It was bad. That's when I was prescribed the Gabapentin. And then later I had an entire day where it wasn't present whatsoever, even when I thought about it. But the 3 days that you're asking me about, where I had 3 entire days right the way through of true peace, true silence, free from this noise, I went on holiday to Yarmouth. And I believe the reason that I had these 3 entire days of true peace, true calm, true silence, clarity of mind, clearness of the mind, was nothing to do with the Gabapentin. My thoughts on this are, and I'm convinced of it, is the reason I had these 3 days of entire peace and silence was when I was on holiday. I had left all of my everyday stresses of life behind me. I wasn't thinking at all about work, having to interact with people you wouldn't necessarily want to, all the irritations of life, everything that agitates me in everyday life. I'd left all that behind when I went on holiday. Even trivial things such as things that need doing to the house, that need decorating. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and these things can get to me, and this seems to be a trait that runs through people with tinnitus. Quite a lot of us seem to be perfectionists, and we think too much, we overthink things. This seems to be a common trait within the tinnitus community. But while I was away on holiday, I just allowed myself to relax. I was with my little boy Aaron and my partner, and the days were to do with as I wished. I had no pressure on me from anything. And I believe, and I'm convinced, that this is why my tinnitus for 3 entire days was not present within my conscious thought. Even when I went to bed, when usually I would always hear it. Even when I went to bed, I did not hear it at all. Even when I thought about it, I did not hear it. It was not present. Now, as I say, it was removed. My brain had removed the noise that I hear as my tinnitus from my conscious thought. It had removed it. Or you can put it another way. You could say that it had put it so far into the back of my mind that it wasn't noticeable. Whatever way you want to look at it, the important thing is, and this is all that matters, is that for 3 days I didn't have tinnitus. That's what's important. And why do I believe this? I believe this was because of being truly relaxed while on holiday and in a very, very good, positive state of mind. That's why I believe I had these days of silence. Nothing to do with the gabapentin. Furthermore, why I think this, and why I think it was my own state of mind and my emotional state that allowed me to have these 3 blissful, wonderful days. I don't need to tell you guys how lovely and wonderful it is to be free of this noise. And 3 days is just like, it's like a lifetime when you've had this noise in your head. I know you will all understand what I'm talking about. But furthermore, to reinforce why I think this was the reason I was able to have these 3 days. When we returned home, I fell asleep in the car on the way home, and when I woke up, we were already home. As soon as I walked through my front door, my tinnitus was noticeable, like someone had switched a switch in my head. It was there, straight away. Not terrible, only a level 1 or 2, where I'm still comfortable, but I noticed it straight away. It had returned to me, and I looked at Amanda, and she knew what I was going to say, and I said, the tinnitus is back. It's back. As soon as I walked through the door. Why? Why would this happen in this way? Why would this happen in this fashion? I believe because as soon as I've walked back through my door, my brain, my mind has said to me, right, you're not on holiday anymore, you're back to your everyday life and all the stresses and agitations and irritations that brings with it. You're back to that now, and my tinnitus reflected this by letting me know you're back to everyday life now and everything that it brings with it. And that's why I think I was able to not have the noise in my head while I was away, because I'd left all that behind. So I don't think it had anything to do with the drug itself. As I say, I'm 10 days, more 11 days now in of being gabapentin free, and I've been using my natural methods, the Tai Chi, meditations, etc. And I am just starting to feel better. I am feeling better, as I said yesterday. And as I've said, before I was taking any of the medications, I had got my mind already in a state to where I was not hearing the noise during the day. I was going through days of not having it, and that's where I'm heading for again. Now I had a post from Free Mustang, fellow biker. Hi Mustang. Yeah, I had a post from you about benzodiazepines. Yes, I agree. I know what you're talking about. I agree. The mirtazepam that I'm on, this is something I had taken before I ever had tinnitus for depression. I'm prone to depression, and I had taken this before. I've been prescribed this before, but this is a medication that I've used before. I know how to handle it. I know I can come off of it very easily. I've never had any problems with it, and I've only ever taken it for short periods of time, and I'm on an extremely low dose. I'm only taking 15 milligrams every other day, so very low dose, and the only reason I'm taking that at the moment is to help me ease through coming away from gabapentin, but I will be stopping that as well within the next couple of months, if not before, because it's just to help me ease through coming away from gabapentin, but it's a very low dosage, and I know handle that. So it's not a problem to me, and eventually I will be completely, as I wish to be, completely drugs free, totally drugs free, just using my natural methods, back onto my road to recovery. And I'm already on the first steps, to put it this way. I'm already back on the first steps back on my road to recovery. So I hope that answers your question and your posts. I did have another email, different subject. I did have another email from the Hound, hi Hound, saying that you're going to have a look in your garage and see if you can find me an old retro headlight to send me. So if you have got one banging about in your garage, yeah, great, send it to me. Let me know if you want anything for it. I'll even do you a swap if you like for that futuristic Star Wars looking piece of garbage that I've got on mine, because I hate it. But if you want it, I think it's worth quite a lot of money. I looked it up on eBay and it's worth about 200 quid, but I hate it, so I'll do you a swap if you want. Let me know, and maybe we'll do a deal. Anyway, I hope that clears that up for everybody. I wish you all the best, wish you all well, and I will see you soon in my next video with my special guest. Alright, thank you, bye bye.